Welcome to Culture on Tap. We are a podcast that is about bridging the cultural gap, one conversation at a time. We have myself, Xavier Bright. We have Dale sitting right next to me, and we have Range behind the camera. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share on anywhere you listen to or watch podcasts. And make sure you hit the bell so that you can get the notifications whenever we have new content coming out, so that you can tap in with us, so that we can be a resource for you, whether to challenge or to encourage you.
So I just want to know, one reason there's a lot of reasons I'm grateful you're back. That sounded so much better. And I don't know why your last line, the resource and the challenge, I could not get that right. And the ... at the end, freaked me out. My brain was like, what are we dotting? It's just, I understand. It didn't work well for me. It was not a good fit for my life. So yeah, it was. Anyone that watches is going, thank you, Jesus, that you're back, because I butchered it a lot.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Let's do fun facts with Range. This one's not a typical fun fact. This is more of an organic happening as we speak, because we did our get to know you, and Range basically said, I don't want to put words in Range's mouth, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Range. But you basically said you could just take Christmas movies and combine them all together because it's all basically the same thing.
Pretty much.
Which is not true. It's true.
Yeah, I mean,
no. So here is a better question. What if is there a season of movies or a genre? What is if Range is he's gonna have popcorn.
mm-hmm.
What are we sitting down and watching?
I guess whatever's on.
Here. So let me explain. This is why this statement annoys me even more, because you weren't even at this situation. It's been 7 years. No, was it 7 years ago? Was it 7 years ago that that happened? Yes. So my wife said it, but I don't think it was 7, but it probably was.
She's nodding, yes.
We're at Universal Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and this was our last full day. And Range's question to us is...
Hold up. In my defense,
Go ahead.
last full day, meaning... Yeah, I saw that picture.
Look, 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 7... Yeah, that memory came up as 7 years ago.
Okay.
I
I stand corrected.
We had been there for a minute. We have been...
This is day number
We have already
3.
done Disney at nighttime, one night. So we're up till whatever hours of the night. And then we've done
I'm feeling you
Disney.
on that. I want to get...
We've done Universal however many days. One day was completely full of Mummy and Bloody Marys. That was all that the day consisted of. Mummy, Bloody Mary. Mummy, Bloody Mary. That was just back and forth the whole time. That was all we did.
So
I was tired.
let's rewind.
I feel you.
Let's rewind. Again, 7 years ago, so we were a lot younger. We did do Mickey's Merry Christmas Party, which ends at midnight, which is late. We did not get up at the crack of dawn the next day, but we went to the park. We had been at Universal 2 days. This was our third and final day. Now when we do trips, 4 days.
This last trip.
Yeah, we did. How many days?
7 days?
7 days. And you only had one leg getting it.
Yeah.
So we're walking towards the park. Last day, we're making plans and stuff. And he goes, this is just a question. How offended will all of y'all be if I decide to go back to the room with a bucket of popcorn and watch a movie? And we informed him very.
Oh, was this at the start of the...
We ain't even made it in the park yet. We have not entered the gate of the park. We're walking towards the park.
No, but he already projected it. He's
Absolutely.
I'm done. I'm walking up and this is it.
I'm
I'm on
put
my
it out
last
there-
leg.
Put it out there early. That way, they can stew on it a little bit.
We shut it right down.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even an option.
Because
Not
if
even
you're
a-
in the midst of it and
Yeah.
you're already done,
Yeah.
then it's not gonna be like, hey, would you guys be
Yeah.
offended? It's gonna be like, I'm going back. I don't care what y'all say.
Right.
All you with your mama.
Yeah.
And then you going back. So I appreciate
Yeah.
that. You were just
I was just throwing it out there, feeling it, testing the water.
So
I was going to give him till like lunchtime or so that day.
yeah.
I'm going to give him a couple
You know,
hours.
maybe a couple Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
You know, who knows what'll happen?
Nope. Wasn't even an option.
but the funny part is, for you, like I'm thinking, like when he said this at this point in my life, I'm like, I had no idea that Range loved movies that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
No, I mean, I probably wasn't going to watch a movie at all. I was probably just going to fall asleep, take a nap,
Which
have my popcorn, eat my popcorn, turn something on. But it doesn't, I mean, whatever movie. I mean, I like funny movies. I like Western movies. I
So
like,
if you put a movie on, what is the percentage chance that you watch the whole movie?
I normally do.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually better than Jessica about watching
Okay.
something in its entirety.
But there's no like.
You look like a Western type of guy. That
Yeah. I mean,
310 to Yuma.
310 to Human was good.
Yeah.
See, there's only about like a good Western. I love it. But there's only a handful of what I call a good Western. Like, don't shoot 14 times with your 6-shooter. Like, that'll annoy me real
Yeah.
quick. Tombstone.
Yeah.
I actually like Wyatt Earp.
Wide Earp, Tombstone.
310 Yuma's a good one.
I love that.
310's good. Young Guns and Young Guns 2.
I love both of them.
They're really good.
I love them.
Yeah.
So there's really
Lonesome
no just throw a movie on. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Unless it's Harry Potter.
Or unless it's a Christmas movie.
I mean, unfortunately, I have to watch Harry Potter with Jessica also. So
Or Star Wars. You're not about that life either.
no, I've never seen Star Wars.
So I tried the Harry Potters.
Really?
Yeah, I'm more of a Star Wars guy.
There might be some people that are judging because it's witchcraft, whatever. I am all about that life. Just so we're clear, I've never cast a spell on anyone. Just so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But I watched the first one on the plane and was hooked. And I even like the prequels now, the Fantastic Beasts ones, all about it.
I've tried.
Yeah.
So none of that has to do with it. I guess because Disney does make movies.
Amusement parks.
Yeah.
You know.
So we just got back from Disney.
Yeah.
All of us went to Disney. Let's ask this question. This wasn't even on the list. Who thinks they did the best when it came to... Because we all talked about the potential of losing our temper.
Mm-hmm.
Who feels like they exceeded their expectations and who feels like they did not? I want to say, I don't think I got onto my kids but one time. There was one moment. But I also feel like I was in an extra, and in y'all's defense, mine are 16, 15, and then Ryan's perfectly content as long as you'll push her around.
Mm-hmm.
And with Charlie being in the scooter, I think I was extra gentle.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
don't think I ever lost it.
Not once.
Not once.
Because we weren't all around each other that much.
Yeah.
Our group was so big, we'd see each other almost in passing more than anything else. I think I rode 1 or 2 rides with you. We rode a couple rides together.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all did, but that was a couple of
I
dinners.
saw when y'all was in Frozen
Mm-hmm.
and I was yelling your name.
Oh, I know.
It was too loud in there.
Yeah.
Range, for sure, at least once,
What?
lost it.
Yeah.
Because I got the witness.
Yeah. But I still would say that
They did great.
the boys did good. I feel like me and Jessica did good. Given the circumstances, the circumstances being our wonderful, amazing kids.
Circumstance.
Yeah.
So just to be crystal clear, and I don't even know if he knows this. There was one point, and Michelle's going to kill me for telling this. Me and Michelle are walking by with Ryan, and I think Charlie and Ethan were already ahead of us or something like that. And we see them over here, and we're kind of moving in that direction. And then I see Range give the boys a look, and then I hear Jess go, they're feral, Range. What do you want me to do with them? And we just veered back right like we don't know. And kept on walking. I don't know who those people are.
This ain't the time.
I was like, don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
But there might be truth that if you were at Thanksgiving, there's a good chance you saw Range's kids without shirts on.
Well, yeah. For sure.
And
at Animal Kingdom.
well, and let's just not all your kids, just Jet.
Yeah.
Without shirt on, with Spider-Man
Gloves.
gloves, sometimes the mask.
Mask, yeah.
And he might have poked you in the butt.
He probably grabbed your butt if you were standing around us.
That's actually what I saw first.
Yep.
Because you were carrying him, and I just saw gloves.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, yeah, that's Jet.
Mm.
All right.
Now, my favorite Jet moment was the very first day. We hadn't been there maybe an hour, and we were in front of the Marvel store, and he wanted me to walk in with him. And so I think Range was with the other two boys. So I said, come on, let's go. And we get to the door, and he jumps down in his Spider-Man stance, but nobody can get in or out of the store. And like he just
in the middle of the doorway
just posed forever. And I'm like, can we go? He's like, no. And he's just like he's waiting for Spider-Man to come out and go, good job, buddy. And like I was like, we are here. So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got on.
I would say all kids. First of all, the amount of people we took,
the amount of kids,
exceeded all expectations. Expectations.
Yeah, and Jessica and I we had pretty good conversations on the way home, just about things that we would do different and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all in all, I mean, yes, our kids drove us nuts, and it was tough. But all in all, absolutely, I would say the kids did well.
So let's jump right into this. If you were going to label this trip with one word, what would you label it?
Being that I didn't get on to my kids at all, it was a delight.
Hey.
Like, I think first off, it started out rough
because they were sick in the car.
Yeah. Zabi and Kai. Kai threw up on my hand.
Ooh. And we know you don't.
Kai threw up on my hand. It was my fault. I had the trash bag because I wasn't driving. I had the trash bag, and I wanted to drive after this, so I ain't got to do it. But I had the trash bag, and for whatever reason, I thought she was done. And Lauren was like, no, she's not done. So as I was going back, she just splattered me. And Lauren, like, we went on, and Lauren, she was like, you all right? I'm like, if you cut my leg off and cut my hand off, I'll be fine. Just cut it off. So they weren't feeling good. But when we got there, they were just a delight. I don't think we had any issues, and we were just enjoying each other. So very delightful, very, very delightful.
So you said one word.
Mm-hmm.
Feral. Yeah. Not like. So our kids are literally. I mean, they are 5, and 3, and they're feral ass kids.
We're gonna have to.
Maybe a better.
We got to do the Mickey.
maybe a better word would be adventurous.
Adventurous.
There we go.
So I will say.
He just had a flashback.
Yeah, he did.
He had a flashback, and that's what triggered that. It's okay, Ray. It's gonna be all right.
I'm telling you right now. Thanks to those kids, I found out. So when you walk out the backside of, and if you've been here, you'll know what I'm talking about. You walk out the backside of Contemporary, and there's the metal Mickey that Mickey's sitting on, the statue. Mm-hmm. So to the left, there's like some grass and these short shrubbery bushes. I'm letting you know, in that monkey grass, whatever that grass is, you never heard of monkey grass? Is that what it's called?
Monkey grass?
Is that I don't know if it's the proper term, but that's what I grew up calling it. It might be a Mississippi thing. I don't know.
That's what I grew up calling it.
Yeah. So
You from our way, Louisiana.
in that grass, I don't know if this is every day, but there was probably about 14 rabbits.
Yeah.
And the reason I know is because these adventurous kids and my daughter ran all through that grass, and rabbits started going
crazy.
everywhere.
Really?
It was something to see.
Yeah.
Um,
And we definitely found out that our kids are not, or at least mine, are not very observant because
they ain't seen them.
they ain't seen none of them.
They just
Rabbits, I mean, like, rabbits are going.
like I'm literally like, this is
everywhere.
crazy. Like how many like people further off are seeing the rabbits come their way, trying to get away from the kids.
But the kids are just playing.
They're
playing.
Not,
They're
chasing the rabbit.
No, they're not chasing them. They're just.
They
playing.
have Ryan. Ryan's chasing all three of them through this grass, and the rabbits are just trying to get away because they think they're after them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Like, it kind of scared me at first. I was like, what is going on? So, if I had to pick one word, I would say exceeded. Like, this trip exceeded all of my expectations. Whether it was worried about Charlie, she did unbelievably well. As a family, it went well. I'm a person that likes everyone to be together, and I enjoyed, even though that didn't get to happen, I really enjoyed it. And then Ryan, just her on the rides was just, I knew she was going to enjoy it. I did not think she would enjoy it to the capacity that she did. She was just
Every time I saw her, she was chilling.
Chilling.
I was like, she's just having a good old time.
She would literally sit in her stroller, like, just chill, and then we'd pull up her ride, she'd get out, and she's ready to go.
Yeah.
So let's jump into some, just so we can kind of give people a visualization of what we got. So best, I didn't say that word, visualization.
I was gonna leave it alone.
You can't leave it alone if you're laughing.
No, I was gonna leave it alone. But Michelle started laughing, so I started laughing.
So best, this is just for self. This is not family. Best ride and best memory, best ride, best food for you. One thing.
Memory, I would say the initial day, which was Sunday, we walked into Magic Kingdom and Zavi, Kai, and Deuce saw the castle for the first time.
Yeah.
They were, Kai had just lit up. But Deuce and Zavi, they went to Disneyland and they saw that castle.
Which is very
they were like, oh, that's cool, it's a castle. This time they were like, oh, wow. Like,
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So that was like, just that initial day was amazing, seeing their reaction. Our first ride that we rode was Haunted Mansion, and we were like inside of the actual queue, and Kyle was like, I'm about to ride my first Disney ride.
Yeah.
And she was like, like she was excited, and Lauren, feeding into it. So that was amazing. Food ride, I would say Guardians. This time felt better than the last time. The first time we rode it, it's just, it's amazing. There's no flaws whenever it comes to that. And food, that ice cream sandwich changed my life. It literally changed my life. I showed my barber a picture of it. She didn't even ask. She didn't ask for it. I said, look what I ate. And she was like, oh my gosh, that looks good. And I'm explaining it on a brioche bun. First off, whenever I was trying to say it the first time, it was brioche. I don't even know how I said it the first time. But I'm like, it's a brioche bun, vanilla ice cream, caramel. And I'm just explaining it to her. I took a video of it. And like everywhere I go, I am telling everybody, nobody's asked. But I'm telling everybody about this ice cream sandwich. Changed my life. S tier, 10 out of 10. No flaws. They toast the dadgum bun. The ice cream is in it, but it's still like ice cold. it's hot on the outside, cold on the inside, not melting. I'm like, how y'all do this? It's like it's magic. Like, and it was
But not sorcery magic, just good Disney magic.
Disney magic. No, not sorcery magic. Sorry. But like it was just there's nothing bad that I can say about that ice cream sandwich. Like, yeah. It was just amazing. Loved it.
Yeah.
Every second of it.
So what was the question again?
For you, not this is a family. I mean, your memory could be, but your best memory, ride, food, or yourself.
Yeah. Memory would be the boys on each of their like first rides because of the way that we had to split up riding things. Most of the time, Ryder rode with me and Drake rode with Jessica. But we swapped off and held the GoPro.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's pretty neat because I got to go back and watch videos of Jessica and Drake riding. And not to go into detail about Drake and all of his stuff, but just to hear him giggle and laugh and enjoy, doing something like that was really fun. Because a lot of the rides are really noisy, and we all know noise is not, even though our house is extremely noisy, strange noises and loud things like that don't normally do well for him.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, I've got screenshots that I sent to Jessica from all three boys on rides, just like with the biggest smiles on their face and things like that. And so that was really, really neat. I would love to have said walking in and them seeing the castle for the first time, but I'm pretty sure when they seen the castle, one of them said, "That's not a real castle." And I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he probably said it outside of his mouth like that. So sometimes he gets called Canelo. And the other one said, "Are we going to better get donuts this morning?" So,
underwhelming to say the least for them.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they had a great time. They absolutely loved it. And just, seeing their smiles on those rides is really a great memory for me.
Yeah.
And ride for me, definitely Guardians Cosmic Rewind, for sure. I agree with X. They didn't miss anything on that ride. It's a completely different type of ride, but they did a phenomenal job. And food, it really wasn't a fantastic food trip for me, unfortunately. But the steak at Ohana was really good.
It was a lot better than the last time. It was
the steak was a lot better than last time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a steak connoisseur like we are, but I think they fixed the issue
for sure.
What I liked about it was when you're doing family table style like that, there's no way you're going to get a steak. If you like steak a lot, it's never going to be what you want it to be.
Right.
But whatever the sauce was they put on the steak,
it was good.
Definitely helped that.
Yeah.
It's
not like a steak sauce. It's like the way they cook the steak with a.
It's kind of like a marinade or something. I don't really know how to explain it. Yeah, it was good.
But I mean, now Homecoming never disappoints.
Never.
Never disappoints.
Ever.
We had the fried green tomatoes.
Your wife had a salad.
Jessica had a salad. I'm not speaking for her. But I had the thigh-high biscuits, and I mean just
you can't. I don't want to try anything else.
Yeah.
Lauren tried the shrimp and grits. I think
she said it was.
She said it was the best thing she's ever had.
Yeah.
And y'all know, for her, she's always put Raglan Road and Homecoming neck and neck. She said this clearly
I
Just
would
having
agree.
the shrimp and grits. That's a shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits.
Just having the shrimp and shrimp and grits. She said it took it over the top, and Raglan Road is a distant two. So
I would agree.
I would agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're so.
Yeah, for sure. Raglan Road definitely has dropped below Homecoming after this trip for me.
100%.
And like the service there is good. Where they sat us wasn't. I mean, yeah, I get the restaurant's full. You got to sit people where you can, especially with the size groups that they sat us in. We actually ended up getting to sit at the same table with the Sandlins, which was really nice. Got to have some.
I think it's cool, but I've realized if you get like, because we sat with the Brights, it's cool to sit together. However, there is no shot that you're going to be in the room to watch the dancing in the center. Like that's not going to happen.
yeah.
And the reality is, when you're at a table that long, you're really still only speaking to one end of the table.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
And yeah, for sure. But for us, they had us like in a corner, half booth, half chair type deal.
We were on the exact opposite
same
side.
thing,
Yeah, same
opposite side of the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think our mistake too was going so late. I think we were all
Tired,
wet, the whole 9 yards.
And I had just ate at the Polite Pig.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even hungry. I ate.
I was surprised that didn't hit. That brioche must be good because you.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that pulled pork sandwich that I had was amazing at the Polite Pig.
Really?
And I've got to go back every time to get it.
Really?
But that ice cream
Might have to
sandwich
try
changed
that
my
time.
life.
Is that where the sandwich was?
no, France.
France was
Oh, okay.
the ice cream sandwich. Polite Pig is the one that had the pulled pork.
I got you. They just so
He had a
happened
bite
to
of
both,
it.
They just so happened to both be on the brioche bun.
No. The pulled pork is a regular.
Oh, I thought you said that.
He just really wanted.
Completely lost apparently.
He just really wanted the pulled pork sandwich, and he said, "I mean, it was good. I tried his sandwich; it's really good.
And the mac and cheese.
Some of the best for me. Some of the best mac and cheese I've ever had. It was that good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I will say this, for a walk-up counter restaurant, I would argue it can contend with anywhere. It's not like if you're going there thinking you're gonna like it doesn't rival Homecoming or anything like that, because those are sit-down restaurants. Like to walk up to a counter, order, and then sit down and they bring you the food. And here's the cool part that we realized because we sat there so long. Once you order from the counter, from then on they'll let you order from the table.
Oh.
So you don't have to go back to the counter, which was really nice.
Yeah.
My only, I think, which this is all quick services in Disney, my only complaint, even though we got put in a good spot, it's real crowded in there.
Yeah.
I could see it being, like, for me,
So yeah, trying to maneuver with my knee rover.
when you had yours, and then we had Charlie's scooter, and we had Ryan's, and then we were packed in there tight.
Yeah.
So I'll do mine real quick. My memory, not family memory, probably my favorite memory of this trip was probably, that's so tough. I think it was just being on Main Street. Like I love Main Street. Just getting to walk down Main Street was really cool. Ride for me has to be Guardians this time because I've only rode it once before this time, and I rode it with Charlie, and she was very scared to ride it. We rode it, but I think I was more focused on making sure she was good riding it, and this time I actually just got to enjoy it. And I actually rode it with my mom, which was really funny because she's like, I'm riding it, but I want to ride in the back. Well, she has no idea. Like back's front, front's back.
Yeah,
it really does not matter on this ride. And I was like, cool, we can ride in the back. And she's like, okay. She goes, I don't want to be in the back. I want to be in the front back. And I'm like, even better. So we rode it, and it was. I love that ride. Like it hits everything you want.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're a roller coaster rider, the only thing it doesn't do, and I'm not even saying that it needs this. It doesn't have any loops, but it's like just the way it's built.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Food for me. The funny part is, I love an ice cream Mickey bar, which went hard in the paint this trip. I ate a bunch of those.
Bro, I'm telling y'all, my kids, I don't see how there's any ice cream Mickey bars left. The amount of ice cream Mickey bars that my kids ate, unreal.
So mine would have to be, it has to be the Hush Puppies at Homecoming.
Okay.
I love a good Hush Puppy. Those Hush Puppies with the pimento cheese, made me have a fat kid moment. Like,
so were they stuffed or?
They're just, I don't know what they put on. They're extremely moist, and then they have like a bowl of pimento cheese. You just dip them, almost like you're doing.
They're not stuffed with.
No, you just eat it like it would be like.
What type of cheese y'all saying? Because y'all just keep kind of just glazing over it.
Pimento and cheese?
Pimento. Not pimento and cheese. Pimento cheese.
I thought it was pimento and cheese.
No, pimento is the type of cheese.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, pimento cheese.
Okay. Y'all kept, both of y'all glazed over his home. Like, y'all know how to say this word? What's going on? Because he said, no, I didn't even know that was a thing. But y'all kept saying, yeah, is it pimento cheese? And then he was like, oh, yeah, pimento cheese. So I'm like, oh, we don't know how to say it. Okay, go ahead.
So you just basically eat it like you would, like, tortilla chips and like,
Yeah.
But you know it's good when you start counting how many's in the basket, so you know how many you get, and you make sure you get all yours. Like, I'm not sharing any more. Like, I'm giving my allotted amount.
Yeah.
So that was probably the best thing I ate. The close second would be, I'll talk about this in the family, but the Norway waffles were fire, and I don't even like waffles, and they were super, super, super good. So yeah, let's keep moving. Best memory ride food as a family.
So the memory and the food are going to be paired together. For me, it was Be Our Guest on Thanksgiving Day. We had a Thanksgiving, basically like brunch, and them seeing the castle. First off, it was a surprise for them.
Words are tough today.
Bro, it's like, daggone, what's going on? I keep glitching. But the first day, on Sunday, we were riding Mine Train, and you can see Bell's Castle from there. And Kyle was like, oh, I want to go there. I was like, we may not have time to go there, but maybe next time. So she was excited whenever we actually walked up on Thursday to the castle.
That's
and cool. The boys, we walked in and they was like, they were amazed. And then the food was
really good,
phenomenal. And we ate there one of the adult trips.
Yeah. It's
and
just
I
okay.
don't remember.
No, because they've completely changed the menu.
Okay.
So it used to be a walk-up counter. Now it's a sit-down restaurant.
Oh, please. Everything. So
because I just remember it being just okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it was a walk-up counter. The atmosphere is really cool.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whatever.
I wasn't excited. I wasn't excited about eating it. I was excited to see really Kaya's reaction.
Right. Yeah.
But the boys were excited as well. So I was like, it was an experience type of thing. But we ate the food and I was like, this is amazing.
Would you agree the only thing, and I'm not saying this, the only thing that's missing, I wish the characters were walking around.
Mm-hmm. The Beast, he was the only one.
He walked around?
He walked around.
See, I wish, and I get they only have so many people, but I wish that they would do more, because like it's so, the detail, the rooms are beautiful.
Yeah.
Like it's hands down one of the prettiest places you can.
And we ate in the West Wing again like we did.
Cool.
For our trip. But
I've actually eaten in all three.
It was amazing, the food and the memory. As far as the ride with the family, Rise of the Resistance, we all rode it together, and it was all of our first times. And I was amazed.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, this is utterly ridiculous.
Now you said I have to break it down all the time because it's so much.
Yeah, there's so much, like, detail in everything. If one thing goes wrong, it ruins everything. Right. But seeing the Finn, is it the Finn animatronic?
Yeah.
Is it Finn? Or Quill?
No, it's Finn.
Finn. No, Quill's Marvel. Yeah, Finn. But like all of us, and even Kaya, she likes Ahsoka, but she doesn't really like Star Wars. But like she was locked in. Zavi was pretending to be a Sith, and he was actually fighting. He had his
Are you
little-
saying actual words? Ahsoka and Sith and like what?
These are Star Wars words.
So not real words.
Ahsoka is a name. And
Ahsoka?
Ahsoka. That's a Jedi's name.
You don't know what a Jedi is.
Okay. So you won't know what a Sith is.
Sorry.
So,
Go ahead.
but anyways,
Sith
like
are portrayed to be like there's a big debate if they're bad guys or not.
Mhm.
They're portrayed to be the bad guys in Star Wars.
So are the white guys, are they good or bad?
Technically,
not the white guys, the white
the
suited guys.
stormtroopers. I was thinking, what, did we just turn into a racist movie? Like what?
What? The white suited guys.
Stormtroopers.
stormtroopers.
They're technically bad.
Bad. Okay.
It's very.
I thought they were actually called.
How do you
what's the
explain
J
someone
word?
that knows nothing?
Jedi's.
about
I
nothing?
thought they were Jedi's.
You
No.
thought the stormtroopers were? Yeah.
No.
They're not.
But yeah, the like we were all just amazed by everything. The lightsaber coming from the top.
I still haven't figured that
I'm
out.
like, bro, what? This is crazy. Like
Like, how do you
it's
put a
an
hole in the roof and then
experience.
take it away?
It's an experience. Like, but we all thoroughly.
Did you
enjoyed
notice
it.
any of this when you read it?
I didn't write it this time.
But you wrote it.
Yeah.
You don't remember any of that?
No.
And then, like, you walk in to that one thing, and you fly away, and then you come in, you a different spot.
Like,
I'm
how did that
what
work?
did y'all do? This is voodoo.
I've wrote it like 5 times, and every time me and Ethan get off and we're like, how are you doing this?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how is this
I don't
possible?
understand it. I don't understand it. But quite the experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I would actually,
Are you speaking words?
I would actually say, memory and food is also going to be one and the same for me, and that's going to be the Norway breakfast.
Yep.
Y'all, I'm telling you, I don't think anybody else caught it, but whenever Princess Tiana came out, and here's the deal. So obviously I have all boys, and so a princess breakfast, you know, they're like whatever.
Y'all wait for Jess.
Yeah, that's and the food.
Yeah.
But whenever Princess Tiana came out,
Yeah.
and Drake's face was just like you could see the drool. Like I'm like, son, fix your face. Like what do you like? And if you ask him, he will not say that was his favorite.
Yeah.
Or like his favorite one to see. But his face was like he was just like it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Jet loved him, and also getting to see Ryan
Yeah.
do her thing was really cool. You know, I don't remember which one it was, but she moved one of them out of the way to go to somebody else's
Snow
table.
White's in the middle of depression right now
Yeah,
because she is not wanted.
yeah. Like she just straight pushed her out of the way to go to somebody else's table to see that princess. It was hilarious. But I mean, and the food just was phenomenal. The waffles were great. The eggs were great. The whole plate was awesome. And I mean, for me, I love a breakfast buffet. I love breakfast in general. A breakfast buffet, but this being like a family style breakfast, and it just keeps coming. And like, I'm pretty sure me and Jet about ate them out of eggs. We did some work, but
I would say the breakfast was better than the last time we went.
Yeah.
Because they added back some of their Norway specialty stuff.
Yeah.
Some that you wouldn't have ate.
Mhm.
They had like a salmon mousse.
Oh yeah, like the salmon.
It was so good.
like
It's like
a
cracker.
spread type deal. It was really good. I'd say it was really. I only got to have a little bit of it because
Jess-
my wife,
Yeah.
like, she claimed it for herself, even though they would bring her as much as she wanted. That was hers and
Yeah.
nobody else's.
I like I don't like. I mean, I like salmon, but the salmon and the moose,
Well, it's more like a cheese.
like a spread, like a
chicken, cows, not a salmon and a moose. Don't nobody want a salmon and a moose together.
And I would say ride as far as family goes, would actually be Ratatouille.
Really? I thought it was a Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, that one too. But Jet got into Ratatouille more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
my
that's
family loved that one too.
yeah. Now Drake loved Toy Story. Drake and Ryder loved Toy Story Mania. Like that was their. They wanted to go back and back and back and back. They absolutely loved that one. But I loved Ratatouille, and Jet getting more involved into that one for sure.
So for me, I would say kind of like y'all's. Mine was food. Memory is tied with food. Ours was definitely the Norway breakfast. The breakfast exceeded all expectations as usual, and just watching the progression of Ryan. So first of all, when you bring food to the table, she's already a winner. Like some people's kids might worry about not getting their money worth when it comes to eating. I ain't never had that problem. Ryan gonna eat, and she was eating, and the first to come out was it a Belle, which we thought she was gonna be like super excited because she loves that movie, and she was like, "Oh, cool, I get to see her," and then she's like, "Oh, I get to take a picture with her," and then she was like, "Oh, there's more coming," and so when Tiana came out, she immediately ran over to her. She got by us, and Tiana was taking a picture with another family, and she's in that. Like, I'm pretty sure if people were doing a podcast that were in that restaurant, they'd be talking about what was your disappointment. Well, we really love this restaurant, but this family kept messing up our breakfast, and that would be us. She ran. Like it couldn't have been time where like Tiana's with this family's kids, and Ryan inserts herself between the little girl and Tiana to hug her. And she don't snap the picture and she don't care. But then she came over to our table and she loved on her, and then Snow White comes and Ryan was like, "Oh cool, I get to meet Snow White." Well, if you've ever been to this restaurant, the theme music for each princess plays and then she makes her way out. So Snow White is like just getting to our table, and the theme music, because we were at the end of the restaurant, we're the last for each princess to come to. The theme music for the next princess starts, and it's Ariel. And Ryan hears it, and out of the corner of her eye, she sees that red hair and literally almost pushed Snow White to the ground and took off running. And threw a royal fit waiting on Ariel to get there. And then when she got there, she would like do the singing with her, and it was really, really awesome to see that family ride. Any roller coaster with Ryan is fun because she literally lifts her hands. Never, like, it's crazy. Like, she'll never put her arms down.
As y'all can see from the pictures, I don't lift my hand.
She even does it on Tower of Terror. Like, it does not matter. So all of that is a blast. To me, the two that I think the newest one that I really loved was Ratatouille. She loved Ratatouille. She thought it was hilarious. It's like it would literally scare her when the 3D jumps would happen, and she would just die laughing and thought it was the funniest thing. The other for me is I thoroughly enjoy riding Soarin' with her because in her own special needs way, like she cannot comprehend. Like for her, we're in it. Like we're literally flying, and she loves it. And of course, every time we ride it, like me and Michelle swear that she is contemplating kicking her shoes off to see if they'll just go. She hasn't done it yet, but you can see the wheels are turning. So those would be really close. But I think this trip it was probably Ratatouille. She really, really, really liked riding it a whole bunch. So
Kaya on Soarin' was great too. This ain't one of the questions or anything, but I really enjoyed Soarin' over California.
I enjoy it. I'm still a Soarin' over the world.
I enjoyed it more than I remember from Disneyland, and I'm like,
you don't like it?
Over California?
I like it.
I really liked it.
I'd rather Soarin' over the world.
Here's my complaint with California. I do get everybody's argument that World has a lot of CGI, which that stuff doesn't bother me at all. I get how it can bother people, My issue is some of the things that you're flying over in California, I have no desire to see. Like, I don't care to see an orange tree field. Like that. That's. I mean, it's cool. It smells
It
nice.
smells really nice.
But like to me, I wouldn't. That's why I like the road. Like I don't know that I'll ever get to see the Taj Mahal in real life.
Mhm.
I'll never like some of those things that you get to see. Like I don't know that I'll actually ever see that. So it's cool to see it.
My only complaint with soaring over California was the initial shot of the Golden Gate Bridge. It is like just very like
Yeah,
foggy and like it doesn't look good.
yeah.
Like you gotta fix that. But everything else was fine. Like it was clear and it felt like you were actually flying over something. But that was my only complaint. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
So
Or that I thought I remembered from Disneyland.
here's a question, and it can be a one thing around because then we have a actual question that goes with the kind of what we do. What is your top? If there is a disappointment, I mean, because even if you have a great trip, there's a disappointment. What is your top disappointment for the trip?
Easily,
You ain't even hesitate.
easily, hands down, the worst experience that I've ever had at any Disney park. Animal Kingdom as a whole
Yeah,
was
Wow.
trash.
Oh wow.
I would agree. It was. This is.
BFI,
Yeah,
trash.
yeah.
Just that's not an acronym or anything for
That's the company
what's-
on the side of your
on
trash
the side of the blue dumpster.
You were trying to figure out
I'm
what.
like BFI.
Oh, it just absolutely utter
But
trash.
this is also the first time we have not park hopped and just stayed. And here's my theory. One, it's always hotter because of all the trees and all the humidity makes it hotter. Two, because there's so few rides, it makes walking around that much more crowded. And there's only about 3 really good rides.
And I didn't even get to ride the one that I wanted to.
Oh yeah, you
Flight
could
of
ride.
Passage because my foot.
Yeah.
So I would actually.
Trash.
So y'all know how much I enjoy Animal Kingdom. It's outside of Magic Kingdom, it's definitely one of my favorite parks.
A hot take. And
It was actually our least favorite park this trip.
it should be.
Yeah.
Because of crowds or just the boys didn't love
just
it?
because there's not a whole lot there that
Little
the boys
boys.
can ride.
Yeah. Because they can't ride Flight of Passage.
Nope, they can't ride Flight of Passage.
Everest.
They can't ride Everest. We didn't even walk over towards Everest.
Yeah.
And so, we did see the Nemo show for the first time. That was really
And
good.
you said it was good.
Yeah, the Nemo show was really good. I actually would say that
Careful. Be
I know.
so careful.
I
You
know.
know what he's fixing to say?
I know what it is.
it has the potential to rival Lion King.
What are we talking about?
I didn't watch it.
I haven't seen it either.
Paul
loves
and
it.
Paul and Kaya went
Yeah.
and watched it while the rest of us went to Everest. But I didn't watch it, so I can't.
I've never seen it, so I can't definitively, but like I just can't see.
We actually watched the Nemo show and didn't watch Lion King.
Did y'all watch Lion King?
No, the line was too long.
We used our special needs pass and Ryan loved it. She loved it. She was like dancing. Luckily we left her strapped into her stroller because if we wouldn't have, she'd been right up there in the middle of that fire. Like that dude came out with them fire sticks and she was about that life.
I will say, everything wasn't a complete wash in Animal Kingdom. The only thing I did enjoy, ironically, people who know me, was Kilimanjaro Safari.
Which is crazy.
That's the only thing that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like
So-
that was great. Everything else, BFI.
So my disappointment for this trip was our last day, which we set it up to be we thought was going to be the coolest thing we got to do, and a lot of it was just outside of our own control. So one, after being there for 7 days, we got out and got in those parks again because like I was like I've been in the gym and I told you all week like I'm feeling really great. Like I had not, my feet hadn't hurt. Like I felt like a champ. I woke up morning number 8 and the proverbial brick wall had not hit me. It had fallen on top of Dale. I was beyond done. Like to the point where like if Michelle's mom and brother not been paid the money and coming to meet us for I was like, I gotta turn on the juice because like I don't want to ruin their one day here. Mm-hmm. But like I was struggle bus, struggle town, struggle country in my life, and I was hurting. And so we got in the parks.
Did y'all do all the parks?
We did 2, but we doubled our steps any other day on the last day, which doesn't even seem like it makes sense. But we really didn't get to the Festival of Holidays because, one, we didn't know this. When it's the first day, there's a little bit of a glitch on starting, like those things that just weren't open yet.
Yeah.
They take a little longer to get it going. It was raining. The crowds were up because there's all these vloggers like wanting to be there for the first day. The vloggers we want to be there aren't there because it's raining. And so we're doing all that. And so we didn't get to ride Guardians because it got basically canceled. We jumped over to Hollywood to ride Tower and we did get to do the Star Wars land, the Galaxy's Edge, which Michelle's brother really wanted to do. So that part was cool. We got in line for Tower, didn't get to ride it because it broke down. And at that point, like I just wasn't feeling great. And then we had to jump back over to Epcot because we thought we were going to get on Guardians, but we didn't get on Guardians. And about this time, Charlie's scooter is done.
It hit a brick wall.
It hit a brick wall. So, like, we're looking for plugs in the wall to stop by and charge it for a little bit. And we basically spent, as I don't know if people in this live know or this recording know, but y'all know, I collect mugs. And for whatever reason, I didn't pick up the 2 mugs I wanted as we walked through these countries. So I had to go back through the countries to get my 2 mugs. So I did that. We did Soarin'. And so basically from Soarin' all the way back up to the lobby at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I'm pushing Charlie's scooter as I'm done. Like I'm beyond, like I'm cooked.
That is a trick.
Yeah, and if you've ever stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, for whatever reason, whoever designed it decided it would be funny for it to be on a hill.
Yeah,
that you have to go up at the end of the day.
Killed me every single day.
It's like and I just told Charlie, I was like, put that thing in neutral, and I took off with her. And so the last day took all of my Disney. Like I got to the top, and it's only Jesus that kept me from just being a complete jerk to the guy picking up the scooter. First of all, he was complaining about us being late. We weren't late. And we pull up, and I'm pushing it, like sweating, getting it. And he goes, yeah, I'm dying. And he goes, battery die? No. I just thought this would be a fun way to end my day. Like, I just looked at him and was like, here's your scooter. Like, that's all I can say. Here's your scooter. And, but yeah, so hands down, biggest disappointment for me would be the last day. And it's a lot of it's our fault. We tried to pack way too much in to one day and didn't get to do it all. But I mean, still a great trip. Yeah. So let's end with this question or kind of tie it all together. So the question we have, because it's probably the proverbial elephant in the room. I feel like I've said proverbial like 6 times this episode.
Word of the day.
How can we? Because we've had people ask us before, how can we be so high on Disney and be Christians because they do not clearly follow the Bible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, my stance is probably just a kind of a general sort of stance in the sense of, yes, I don't agree with a lot of things whenever it comes to Disney.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the parks. I do enjoy some of the movies and things of that nature.
I feel like less and less as time is going.
Yeah, like the more they come out with stuff, it's like we don't watch it. But for me, it's like, okay, you have this. You don't separate. In my head, my opinion, what I see from Scripture, you don't separate different hierarchies of sin or sinful things. Like, we celebrate Christmas, the paganism,
Right.
the consumeristic mindset of Christmas, we celebrate that. We celebrate sports, the consumeristic mindset of sports. Like, we get upset whenever our team loses. We celebrate a whole lot of different things.
If you really think about it, like you say that, there's probably more ungodliness around Christmas than Halloween.
Absolutely.
Now, in the persona of what it is, I get what people are saying.
Yeah, because you pair Santa Claus with the real person, Saint Nick, and then you have
Right.
a sprinkle of Jesus over here with the nativity scenes and things of that nature. But it's like, it's pagan
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
The reality is that we probably don't even celebrate the birth of Jesus whenever he actually was birthed.
Right. Which is
You know what
not
I'm saying?
December.
It's not December. So it's like there's all of these things where we can nitpick, we can choose over here, or we choose. I mean, and obviously I know y'all because we've talked about this, but this is just one of those things where we enjoy it. We enjoy the theme parks. We enjoy spending the time together. We enjoy, and I think obviously the rides with amusement parks, but I think a lot of it is we enjoy the food and the fellowship.
Right.
We aren't sitting over here with rainbow colored this and
It's all on the walls.
like we aren't there for that.
Well, but I also think as a Christian, first of all, you have to ask yourself, if your stance is they're doing ungodly things, so I can't be a part of it, what can you do then?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really?
You gonna shop at Target?
Yeah. Like
You gonna
there's
shop at like there are a lot of underlining things
right.
that if we dug deep enough, we ain't doing nothing or
We-
buying anything or
We're
going
ain't going
anywhere.
anywhere. And to me, I feel like when I'm there, my stance is I am thankful for the love and memories that my friends and families get to create, which is the same with Christmas. Like I told some, I think I said this the last episode when you were out about Christmas. Christmas for me is less about the birth of Jesus and the memories and the special time I get with my family, because I'm celebrating Jesus year round.
Year round.
Like I even said that this morning. His birth is irrelevant if you're not celebrating the resurrection.
Yeah.
Like he's just a baby without it.
Yeah.
And so, I love Christmas decorations? Yes, I love the music. I love the movies. But I love because it's a time for me that my son and my kids will slow down and we have this quality time that's special.
Mm-hmm.
Parties, all of that. Like you're making an effort to do community more than normal. And that's what I love about Christmas. And I think the same thing for us with Disney. Like, is it Disney, or is it the fact that we know when we go together that we're going to have a memory that's going to be special? And I
Laughter,
think,
food, like
and I think I would almost argue the lead up to it is almost as fun as the actual trip.
Yeah.
Just talking about it, and so so people go, yeah, but there's this push for all these sinful things. I just would say, God does not call us to distance. Like we are supposed to be in the world, we're just not supposed to be of the world. And I just choose to not divulge into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
and if you are someone who chooses not to,
cool.
that's completely fine. The only part where I would caution you is projecting your conviction in that regard onto someone else or other people. Just because it's like, let's go down your list. Now, if If you don't shop at Target, if you
Right.
don't do all of these different things, then hey, you may have a ground to stand upon. But if you do the Santa Claus thing, if you do whatever, trick or treating, whatever the case may be,
Right.
all of these other pagan things, if you have a shirt of your favorite sports team or teams, what's the difference?
Yeah. When you act in a way that's ungodly because your team lost or didn't make it in the college playoffs, how is that any different when it comes to your witness?
Sure.
I feel like I'm okay. I'm like you. I'm okay with people not wanting to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But my question is, what are you a part of?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can rest assured, just about anything we do secular, there's somebody that's like, I'm not a fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, we don't divulge in. I tell people all the time, I love the parks. I do not love the theology.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd argue that's the same way with Universal Studios.
Yeah.
We don't do Six Flags, but
No, absolutely not.
But and this is what I told. I didn't know this, but Six Flags has its own issues.
Mm-hmm.
They're a huge proponent of pornography and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that the mother company of all that. So I think that all of it has its issues.
Yeah. And I'll end with this, unless you have something else.
No.
When are we as Christians going to be known more for what we are for rather than what we're against?
Absolutely. I think that's so important.
When?
Yeah.
When is that going to be a thing? Because if you look at, we want to talk about Scripture. We want to dive into Scripture. All we hear now, or all we read, because most of it is on social media, is look at what this world is coming to.
Yeah.
Right? We're about to go up in flames. Where, whenever you look at the book of Acts and the start of the church, most of the thing that they were saying was, look who has come into the world.
Right.
Not look at what this world is coming to.
Right.
It's a completely different posture
Yeah.
of there is hope, there is freedom in Christ, in all of these things, and we can then infiltrate the world with that rather than complaining and sniping and just being really Grinches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever it comes to the things that's going on in this world. So it's like, that's my challenge for everyone. Like, are you known more for what you're against or what you're for?
Yeah, no, I think that's so important. D.A. Horton said, I read this the other day, I thought it was so good. If the world was how we wanted it to be as Christians, how bad would we actually look as Christians? And that's a really deep thought, because his whole idea was we take this posture of how horrible this world's become keeps us from being who God wants us to be, which is a cop-out.
Yeah.
And if it was actually how we wanted it to be, then we just wouldn't look like, we would be the things that don't look like Christians.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Which is really scary.
Yeah.
And just so we're clear, like you said in Acts, they chose to use the bondage as something to show people how you could be free from, where we choose to allow the bondage to keep us from looking free, which is a dangerous thing. So no, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is Culture on Tap. That was our trip. If you've never been and if you're anti-Disney, then don't go.
Yeah. Please don't.
In fact, you can just send us the money and we'll go for you.
Absolutely. You'll enjoy it.
We'll go and we'll bring you back a non-Disney t-shirt. But if you ever want to go, we would love to give you pointers. We have plenty. We study it quite diligently.
Much pros at this point.
Yeah, and if you want to take us, we'll let you. So thanks for tapping in with us.
That's Classic Hits. You can download the Houston Radio Platinum app. It's in your app store, or just ask Alexa to play Houston Radio Platinum.